If you're someone who wants to legally migrate abroad and you have been finding it difficult landing a job offer from your home country, this video that you're about to watch could be the breakthrough that you have been waiting for. In this video, I'm going to share with you 3 countries that you do not need to have a job offer to migrate to. At the end of the video, I will leave links in the description section where you will be able to read directly from this country's government immigration website so that you can see that the information that I'm giving you now is credible and is directly from the home country's immigration website. The first country on the list is Portugal. In 2022, the Portuguese government attempts to address the problem of severe immigration labor shortage was to liberalize its immigration policy. What they did is that they made it easy for people to come to Portugal and look for a job. And when you find a job, you'll be able to apply for work permit, bring your family to Portugal and reside in Portugal. The first step for you to be able to move to Portugal is for you to submit an expression of interest to the Institute of Employment and Vocational Training. When you submit your application online to the Institute of Employment and Vocational Training, they will then email you. That email is like a green light to say, yes, we've looked at your expression of interest. We think it is in the government's best interest for you to come to Portugal and work. So go and apply for your job seekers visa. That's stage 2. So they will tell you the requirement you will need to take to the embassy. If you live in a country where there is no Portuguese embassy, they will be able to tell you the closest embassy or another country that offers Portuguese embassy that act on behalf of Portuguese embassy in your home country. Okay? The process of getting Portuguese job seekers visa takes between 30 to 90 days compared to the UK visa where you will have to pay a minimum of £1,600. The Portuguese job seekers visa only costs between 75 to 80 euro to apply for. Okay, so if you are granted the visa, you will be able to initially go to Portugal for 4 months. After 4 months of living in Portugal, if you find a job, you will be able to apply for work permit, which at the end of your work permit, after 2.5 years, you will be able to begin the process of extending it as long as you still meet the condition for extending it. Okay, so you will be able to live in Portugal after 4 months. If you haven't found a job after 4 months, you will be able to renew your job seeker visa for another 2 months. Okay, and again the same condition applies. Okay, so I want to quickly summarize what I've said about Portugal. The first stage to moving to Portugal on the job seekers visa is for you to submit your expression of interest to the Institute of Employment and Vocational Training. The Institute of Employment and Vocational Training will then email you to tell you, yes, we've looked at your expression of interest. We think that you meet the criteria. Then you submit your application, which will take between 30 to 90 days for it to be approved. Okay, and after 30 to 90 days, you will have your 4 months initial job seekers visa. Okay, and after 4 months, you will be able to extend it for another 2 months. And the good thing about Portugal is that if you were given that job seeker visa as an electrician, plumber, a doctor, mechanic, or whatever, even though you haven't found a job in your area of qualification, you will be able to, if you find a menial job, you will still be able to do that job whilst you are looking for a job in your choosing profession. If you are seeing my video for the first time, my name is Francis. I am on a mission to save you money, give you the information that you can use to legally migrate abroad without needing to pay an agent. If your dream this year is to legally migrate abroad, it is in your best interest to subscribe to this channel, because information, they say, is power. We want to give our people step-by-step guidelines of how they can legally migrate without needing to pay an agent. We want to help as many of our people to legally migrate abroad without having to pay an agent. So it is in your best interest to consider subscribing to this channel, and make sure you share this video with anyone that you think will benefit. This opportunity is unlimited. So that is the first one we have for you, is Portugal. So the next one on the list is Austria. Okay, Austria is close between Italy, Germany, and it's not far from Switzerland as well. It's a northern European country. So in the case of Austria, it's very, very straightforward. In order for you to come to Austria, you only need 70 points. Once you have 70 points in your home country, you will be able to go to the Austrian embassy and submit your application for a job seeker visa, which will be granted. And the first one will be for 6 months. That 6 months allows you to go to Austria to look for a job in Austria. Okay, and the cost of Austria's job seeker visa is between 70 to 150 euros. Okay, and the process of applying of granting it takes between 30 to 90 days for the visa to be granted. So what do you need to do in order for you to get your 70 points so that you can migrate to Austria, which is next door to Germany? The first thing you need to do, you need to have, if you have a university degree, you will get 20 points. If you study science, math, information technology, you get 30 points. If you have a PhD, you get 40 points. If you are under 35, you get 20 points. If you are under 40, you get 15 points. If you are under 45, you get 10 points. Austria gives you 2 years for every work experience that you have in your field of study. So if you study nursing, for instance, and you have 10 years experience, that gives you another additional 20 points on top of your point. So once you have your 70 points, you take your application to the embassy and submit your job seeker visa, and it will be granted if you meet the condition. So Austrians is very, very straightforward, and they give you points if you have things like English language. If you have English language test, you get additional point. But the main thing you need to get for Austria is 70 points, and you pretty much get it by what I've just said. So I just want to quickly summarize what I said about Austria. You need 70 points out of 100 to move to Austria. So you get 20 points if you study a 4 years degree course. You get extra 30 points if you study IT, maths, or science. If you study up to PhD, you get 40 points. If you're 35 years, you get 20 points. If you are 40 years, you get 15 points. Under 40 years, you get 15 points. Under 45, you get 10 points. And that is just basically how you accrue Austria's points. Again, I will leave a link in the description section where you will be able to read up on what I am saying now. Once you move to Austria, you get a job, you will be able to apply for the red, white, red card. The red, white, red card is their work permit. And at the end of that, after 3 years, you will be able to apply for permanent resident. Again, you can read up on this, everything, the requirement that you need I will leave a link in the description section. So if you're seeing value from what you're hearing so far, make sure you consider subscribing to Launch Club Media. Follow us on our all the social media platforms. Our mission is very simple. We want to help a lot of our people as possible for them to legally migrate abroad so that they do not have to use an agent, so you can save money. So the last country I want to share with you is the mighty Germany, the powerhouse of Europe. Germany's own is very straightforward. They have this 6 months visa. The 6 months visa, it just means that you can go to Germany in 6 months to look for a job. The difference between Germany and Portugal is that if you move to Germany, you will not be able to find a part-time job. You will not be able to find a manual job. You can only work in the profession that you indicated, that the skill set that you indicated you have. What I mean is that if you told them that you're a plumber, or a doctor, or an accountant, you cannot work in Burger King whilst you're looking for a job. But you can get a trial where if the employer is not too sure about whether you have the skill, whether you'll be able to do the job, they can give you like 10 hours a week trial where you go there, you do the work to demonstrate that you'll be able to do the work and you will be paid. Okay, so Germany's work seekers visa is 6 months. It can be extended for another 6 months, and you will be able to live in Germany. Once you get the job, you will then be able to apply for a work permit. After 3 years of living in Germany with a work permit, you'll be able to apply for the permanent residential card, which is the EU blue card. Okay, so what do you need to do in order for you to meet the criteria to apply for German job seekers visa? The first thing you need to have proof of your qualification or vocation. So if you're telling them that you're a plumber, you need to have job seekers this. You need to have job seekers. You need to have proof of employment. So if you're telling them that you're a plumber, for instance, you need to make sure you have trade certificate. I have a lot of people that contact me from mostly Africa and the Caribbean. They say, oh, I've got 20 years experience as a plumber. Well, do you have a piece of paper that is recognized that shows that you are a certified plumber, certified electrician, certified accountant, you are a medical doctor or a nurse? You must have a certificate that shows that you have the skill set and you've qualified to do the job that you're telling them to do. That's the first thing. The second thing you need to have is your qualification needs to be recognized by a German institution. That's the second thing you need to do. The third thing you need to do, if you're coming to work in a field that is regulated, such as medicine, social work, psychology, a profession that is regulated, you need to inform the regulatory body to say, this is the skill I have. I want to come and work in Germany. I would like to register with you as part of the process of applying for your 6 months job seekers visa. You need to do that as well. And you need a minimum of B1 in German language for you to be able to come to Germany and do this. And you will need evidence that you can support yourself whilst you're looking for a job. You need proof of fund, evidence of proof of fund as well. And again, as I said, the visa is for 6 months. And after 6 months, if you get a job, you apply for a work permit. After your work permit expires after 3 years, you will be able to apply for the EU blue card, which is the EU permanent resident card. So I want to quickly summarize what I said about Germany. So Germany process is very straightforward. You need to have proof of your vocation. You need a qualification that is recognized by a German institution. If you're coming to work in a regulated field like nursing, social work, medicine, etc., you need to make sure that whilst you're applying for your job seekers visa to come to Germany, you inform the regulatory body as well. And you also need proof of fund to show that you can take care of yourself before you get a job. And you will be given 6 months visa, which can be extended for another 6 months for you to go to Germany and look for a job. And if you get a job, you will then be able to apply for work permit. And after 3 years, you'll be able to apply for the EU blue card, which is a permanent resident that allows you to go to other EU country and work. So that is basically all you need to do. Again, I'm going to put a link on the website where you will be able to read up on these things. Any country that you're planning to go to among the 3 countries that I've said, if I were you, I'll go on LinkedIn and I'll go on I'll type in Google, said shortage of occupation in Portugal, Germany, Austria, so that you can see the occupations that are in high demand in those countries, so that you can target those occupations in as part of your process. And you can also use things like LinkedIn, Indeed, and other sites to start searching for job and start networking as well. That will help you. So I hope you have found value for this video, and I believe that this opportunity that I've said giving you now in this video, you have three. If I were in your shoe, I would apply for all of them. I think Portugal and Austria, the process is very easy and straightforward. Germany is easy, but I think the language test for some people, they having the B language test, they might struggle with that if you're not familiar with German language, but it's still doable. So a minimum of B is not hard to get. So make sure you share this video with anyone that you think is interested in migrating to one of the three countries here, and consider subscribing to Launch Club. We want to help as many of our people to legally migrate. We do not want you to pay money to agent. That is why we're working tirelessly to make sure we give you the information so you can use this information to migrate and help your family and save money without having to pay agent. So thank you so much for watching this video to the end. Make sure you look out for my next video. I'll be releasing another video in 48 hours time, and it's going to be something better than this one. Thank you. God bless you. May God let your dreams come true, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.